Welcome back to another This Is All Skate Shop YouTube video. This is Bas and I'm Ivo, of course, and we are in the This Is All Skate Shop in Amsterdam. We have a store in Berlin and in Antwerp as well. This video we're going to talk about the Wizard or Flow Skating Buyer's Guide. So if you want to get some big wheels like 4x100 or 5x80 or some high-low setups, we're going to discuss all of that, what type of boot to take, what frames, what wheels, what complete setups there are available, and maybe what the best customer options are for you. So that's
it's needed because it's kind of a jungle at the moment.
Yeah, there's a lot. We also did another video already last week. This was more an introduction to the style with a little bit of history and where it's going and what the impact is. So if you're interested in this style of skating, then check that one out as well. And we're gonna do another video about the technique as well, because Bas made a super cool book about this. Bas, can you tell a little bit about the book, please?
Been trying to capture all these ideas and everything that I learned in the last 5-6 years and try to put it into one book with a very easy structured approach for people that are just starting. Try to make something which is kind of complex, try to make it simple and help them kind of start speaking the language that is this type of skating.
So the book is available for pre-order right now?
Yeah, I'm working hard and I'm almost finished with the book and looking forward to publishing it and having everybody read it.
So what do you need if you want to do the flow style skating? Is there a quick answer, like the short answer? What would that be?
I think it comes down to a larger frame, bigger wheels.
Yeah.
Because you can do the exact same thing on a slalom skate, but it just looks different.
Yeah, so you need the stability of a long frame.
Yeah.
And I would say the stiffness in the sideways flex, so you want to have a boot that has a lot of support. So I think those are the basics.
Yeah, the rocker, the 4.5,
rocker,
and that's I think the most recognizable, most impactful, most new, innovative thing. Yeah.
And then to keep it short, the cheapest option right now is the ACT-WZ, right? Yeah. So if we're gonna have like a short answer to this question of what do you need, it's gonna be this skate. It's only 400 euros. Then all the other setups are more complex, and we're gonna discuss all the different options in this video. And you want to be low to the ground as well.
Yes, definitely low to the ground. Yeah, today we're going to talk about the hardware. What you need.
Start with the boots, then the frames, then the wheels, and then we're gonna discuss the complete setups that are on the market. With the boots, I think the first thing is fit, and there's no real good way to know the fit. We try our best on our website, thisisall.com. It's mentioned if a skate fits small or fits big. So look out for that. We also have a size guide. There's the centimeter sizing in all the size charts. The width is also mentioned on our website, and you can also filter by width. So if you have wide feet, you can actually filter all the skates by width. So then you only get the wide boots or narrow fit if that's what you want. But the best way is, of course, to go to one of our stores, either in Berlin, Antwerp, or Amsterdam.
Yeah, and I think that's also kind of a thing that's part of the style, like the really tight boots, having all the control possible, like the tiniest movement. So if there's something flexible or there's space, especially with the bigger wheels, you know, if you ride like a high-low frame or 4x110, you really feel that every little space you have, it's you're gonna feel it. So
you need the ultimate stiffness, and one of the things that determines stiffness is the room that your foot has in the boot. Yeah, that's actually why I personally don't like this boot, the ACT, because it has a really wide last. So the shape of the foot is really wide and also tall. Yeah, and that's nice for aggressive skating, and it's also nice if you have a wide and tall foot. Don't get me wrong, but I don't. So for me, this skate is too roomy. If all the skates that you try are too narrow, then this actually might be a good solution. Right now, I'm skating the Powerslide Next, and it's one of the actually lowest boots. So the lacing area is actually pressuring a lot on the top.
Yeah, I couldn't have problem fitting in that one. Yeah.
So that's why you see like fit is super personal. So again, go to one of our stores and try them out.
I personally really love the CJ, the Prime. I think the old school boot.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable skate. I think one of the most comfortable skates I've ever had on. But
So what requirements do like a good flow skating boot needs to have?
Yeah.
It's definitely stiffness. We touched on that. Sideways stiffness.
I personally like a little bit of flex.
Forward flex, sideways flex.
Yeah, bit of everything. Because that's also why I like plastic a lot. So I think it's also quite personal. If you like like right now, for instance, the boot that Wizard released is really stiff. So you have a lot of control. Everything that you do goes down and get transferred to that point of contact. But I like a bit more loose. So I think it's a bit personal also. Yeah. I would say the biggest choice is choosing the right frame, but the boot needs to be comfortable, of course. Yeah.
For example, you have the FRX and it has a plastic plate here, and this is the FR1 and the FR2 and the FR3. They have a metal plate here.
Yeah.
Would you actually prefer the FRX over the FR1, 2, and 3?
I like the little bit of pull that you have. So for me, it's not something that I like a little bit of feeling the pull of the frame inside the boot, but. I guess that's kind of personal. So I would go for
you
plastic.
did try the carbon, like the CJ carbon and the CJ plastic.
No, I have the CJ in plastic and the Wizard boot in carbon. Yeah.
Okay, but you don't have the same boot in both versions.
No, that's that.
Okay, so it's also maybe not you didn't try, and you also don't have the FRX and the FR1, 2, and 3.
No. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of course the plastic CJs and the Wizard base skates, they are like, the Wizard base is super stiff.
Yeah.
Because I would for sure say that in this regards, go for the stiffer mount.
Yeah.
If we're just talking about mounting, I would pick the FR1, 2, and 3 always over an FRX, because if you move your boot, the frame just responds quickly and there's no delay. Also, that's why I think most of the aggressive skates, if you're just talking about like any racers skates, like your Racer Shift, Racers SL, Racers Genesis, Roaches, Fifth Element, Roaches, M12, most of the USD skates, all the like kind of like normal aggressive skates, they are just not suited for big wheels.
Yeah.
The way we're talking about it now with the flow skating frame, the mount is too weak for them.
But we're seeing a lot of new boots that are being used for flow Wizard setup.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be, of course, the specific setup, but now it's changing a lot. So some boots are not meant for it, and some are.
Yeah. What are some of the best boots on the market right now in your feeling?
Yeah, my personal opinion is the CJ, but that's my personal opinion. I'm hearing good stories about the ACT.
Yeah.
Well, you have people riding the Dam skates. That's also been, but not as many as more. And Powerslide Pro Evos also. So I'm seeing more and more. Yeah.
The hardcore Pro Evo.
Yeah, the carbon ones.
Yeah. And what about the Seba and FR carbon boots?
Yeah, of course, you see a lot. Yeah. There's a lot of carbon boots out there. I think it's it's more popular than plastic. But
I would also say that any of the FR type boots, like a Rollerblade Twister, or like some of the Flying Eagle skates, or like the Rollerblade Lightning, maybe. Like any of those classical 165mm mounted boot with the metal plate in it would also be good. Okay, let's talk about flex a little bit, because now we talked about the flex in the mount, but there's also flex in the boot, and you have sideways flex and you have forward flex. Well, sideways flex, I would say, just needs to be as stiff as possible, right? But you don't agree with that, maybe, because you like
I like to hang a bit. I like to. When I really hang in this part of the skate and really go like that, so there's a bit of a flex here, but so when I changed to carbon for the first time, it was quite different. So so it's subjective, like everything in skating, of course, But I think that's kind of the idea behind it. Like if you really I think for starting, I would suggest stiffness.
Yeah.
And later on, you can always change if you want to plastic.
Yeah.
But I would start with the stiffer one. It's better. It gives you more control. You're more stable. And it's just better to start with. So
yeah, and it's also a personal journey. So everybody needs to discover their own.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Regarding the forward flex, I made a complete video just about sideways flex and also about forward flex. And with the forward flex, I made a rating where 100 is the average, and if it's like 70, it's like super forward flexy, and if it's like 130, it's like super stiff forward. So if you wanna like know on our web shop what type of flex a boot has, you can look it up in the specs. So that's the only web shop in the world where you can actually see something about flex. So
yeah, it's really
nice.
cool.
Yeah. Then there's also kind of like linear flex and progressive flex, and these are terms that not a lot of people.
No,
understand.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Enlighten me.
I really need progressive flex. Progressive in Dutch is exponential.
Yeah.
So if you go twice as far, the resistance becomes 4 times as much, and then if you go twice as far again, the resistance goes 8 times as much. If you go twice as far again, it's so every step gets progressively more.
Changes. Yeah.
That means that if you like push a little bit more every time, you can go further, but there's like it feels a little bit like there's a natural boundary to it.
Oh yeah.
Where skates with the linear flex, they just kind of like have the same resistance, and then it stops at a certain moment.
Yeah.
And I have an ankle injury, like I broke my ankle twice now.
Yeah.
And it really sucks. And that means that I really need a skate with a progressive flex, because I kind of like need the skate to be part of the stability of my ankle, because my ankle doesn't have that strength anymore.
Yeah.
So that's why I drilled a new cuff on my Powerset Next with the bolts more in the back. If you want to dive deeper into this, dive into my video about it. But just know that kind of like how progressive and linear flex works. I think for this type of skating, you really need progressive flex. I think everybody needs it, and also this you can check in the meta fields of our products. So.
That's right. That's right.
The Seba CJ that you have a really strong progressive flex.
Yeah.
So it's kind of loose in the beginning, like it's okay here, and then it gets more and more the further you go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and you know, we can ask the question like, why would you pick a specific setup? And I think that's the hardest thing for the beginners, because we have this saying in Dutch, like door het bomen het bos niet meer zien. Basically means you cannot see the forest because of all the trees. And I think that's kind of a bit the case. So how do you as a shop guide people through that, like helping them find the right setup that they need to store? Or is that hard, or is it more like start off with something general?
Yeah.
Because I would say, you know, the 4x90, I think is a really good way to start.
Yeah.
And then start with that, and then you know, you'll discover what you like, and you'll come back for a different frame. But it's I think beginners don't know what it is that they want specifically in the beginning, because it's there's a lot out there. Yeah. There's all these crazy new ways of combining the wheels. So yeah.
The way we do it in the store, so if you ever come to one of our stores, most people don't know, because there's like so many skates here that they're a little bit overwhelmed. Luckily everything is sorted by size, so we take you through your size, and then we kind of discuss, of course, what type of skating you want to do. Then we usually grab the skates from the wall and give them like a whole, like, we'll do this like up, and then like some more and more, like stack it on, like, and then you walk to the bench, and you can try all of them, and the first step is to find one that fits.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna discuss the frame and everything else,
exactly.
and maybe the benefits of the boot. Or
like
if you have two that fit equally, then we can discuss the differences. But first thing is find one that's good for the fit.
Find the boot, because you're going to have to be in that boot a lot.
Last topic regarding the boots is the gutting or no gutting.
Yeah.
What is gutting?
Gutting sort of evolved because of the need for a Wizard Flow boot, which was the CJ. People wanted to put the Intuition liner into the CJ, and that meant cutting it completely open. And I can tell you that feels a bit weird.
Yeah.
When you're gonna cut open your skate, but you know we've done it a few times, and it gets a bit easier. But that's the way to sort of put an Intuition liner into a skate that doesn't have a removable liner. This is the Prime, which has a removable
it is the
liner.
Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a narrow foot?
I have a wide.
A wide foot?
Yeah.
Because
flat and
the
wide.
Prime is more narrow and it also fits smaller in the length.
Yeah,
than
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a very different fit than the other CJ.
Yeah.
The toe box is also pretty high up.
Yeah,
Look at this one,
I
which
see
I
it.
don't like. It does what it
For
does
you.
for me. Yeah.
If you want to do it yourself, you can follow the steps there. And if you're too afraid to do it, you can also send it to us and we'll send it back to you.
That's
Got
right.
it.
Yeah.
It's actually just a product you can put in your cart on the web shop, and the steps are explained there. Even when you buy a new skate, you can just add it to the cart and then you get the new skate already got it with the Intuition liner. You have a Seba CJ2 that you got it as well, right?
Yeah, so I have a CJ that I got it and I have a Prime, yeah.
So what's the difference between a gutted Seba CJ2 and a non-gutted Seba CJ2 in the fit?
The gutted version will have a lot more narrow fit, more performance fit. So it'll be a lot more tighter, and that will also give a lot more control. But that will be a bit more uncomfortable in the beginning.
Yeah.
But it will get comfortable.
So it's tighter in the length or in the width or around the ankle? Where's it tighter?
Completely around. So what you notice when you have the old model, you feel that there's like cushions on the side. Those are gone and it's now evenly distributed. So the pressure is divided over the whole foot instead of a few spots on the side and the front. Yeah.
And the material of the Intuition liner is more responsive. It has a bigger rebound in the foam. So if you press in the foam, it bounces back. And it gives a more high performance skate experience as well. So every push, the liner actually pushes back to your foot, so your energy transfer is bigger. That was it for boots, I think. Now let's go to frames. There's 4 wheels, there's 5 wheels, there's high-low setups. First, what's the difference between 4 and 5 wheels?
If we break it down to it, 4 wheels is a bit of everything. So you can also still do some flatland tricks, you can still go to the park and you can still do some distance.
Yeah.
So I think the 4 wheel is the best for starting. If you know what you like, for instance, a more expressive artistic skating, then a 5 wheel frame is perfect for that. But then again, the 5 wheel frame is really long, which makes it also very interesting for cruising because it's very stable.
Yeah, and for beginners especially.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the
Yeah.
length adds so much stability. So
there's a bit of like nuance to it.
Yeah.
So most of it I would say start off with 4x90, but there are sometimes reasons to start with a larger frame. Yeah.
Let's say if like my mother, who's like 70 plus, would need a skate, I would give her a 5 wheel skate. I definitely also noticed that the 5 wheels, they are not nice for cruising because they just.
Yeah, they're quite wobbly. So I think what you will notice if you start skating 5 wheels, that the faster you go, it starts to get a bit wobbly. I personally like it because there's also a sort of like playfulness in it that you can play around with. But yeah, definitely more wobbly. But also, especially ones with the bigger field, it's very easy. It's almost like skiing, you can ride over everything.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have to worry about small stones or the train tracks. Like you can just go.
Yeah, a lot of times in the customer support, we get the question like, I want to have a skate that's super smooth over bad surfaces because I don't have good roads where I live. And then people like to jump to 3 big wheels because they think bigger wheels are better, but actually more wheels are better in this regard. Yeah. Because the more wheels you have, the smoother the ride is.
Yeah.
So that's also what you notice if you have 5 wheels. It's like just instead of like having, if you ride over something being like tuck tuck tuck, it's like
divides it.
So it's like way smoother in that way.
Yeah. If you're a beginner, there's a lot of frames out there. So just to make it a bit simpler, if you know what you want to do, which is artistic skating, or you want to go to a spot and really do flow, then go for the 5 times something.
Yeah.
If you don't know yet, you want to cruise a bit, maybe try out a bit in the park, then go for a 4x90 or 4x100.
Yeah. I think actually for almost all people, 4x100 with a slide rocker is a solid choice.
Yeah.
Just like a 4x90 as well. But the 4x100 is so underrated, and I hate it because it's the setup I skate.
Yeah.
And
I learned everything on the 4x100.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I moved to the smaller 5 wheels, and I was like, wow, everything is so easy.
Yeah.
But it's a really good skate to start on, and it's so nice to cruise with 4x100. So yeah. It's a good all-round skate.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Be honest, yeah.
And there's no complete setup with this, and I hate that. And also the frame options are so slim.
Yeah.
There's only one Trinity 4x100 frame that's flat, for example. There's a few that's rockered, but it even like the classic. I think also UFS. There's no flat options for 4x100.
Not that much, no.
I would love a 4x100 flat.
Yeah.
Not for this style, but to go to work.
Yeah. No, it's not. Yeah.
And it's crazy how underrated it is. And now, like the first companies jumped to 5x80.
Yeah.
Rollerblade made the flow frame 5x80.
Yeah.
But they skipped 4x100.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
so
I think, but that's what we talked about the last time, right? Like the 5 wheel was the biggest impact. That's what made the biggest waves in the industry.
Yeah. But people get the 5 wheel as well. Like it's a visual, like whoa, it has 5 wheels.
Yeah.
It's just like more like a trend they need to hop on than a 4x100 rocker doesn't. I don't know.
Well, to be honest, I didn't know what the whole idea was with the 5 wheels, so I just chose for a more safer option. But there's so many combinations out there now. Like we've seen some crazy stuff, like 125 front and in the back, and then smaller 67 millimeter wheels in the middle. And you were talking about like the big ones. Yeah.
Shall I show you? There's 2 frames right now in this category that have a high-low setup. There's of course in other categories there's high-low setups like the Wish frame for aggressive, and in slalom if you have like 76 on the outside and 80 on the inside, it's called a high-low. This is a yo-yo frame. This is the version with 5x80, but it's not 5x80 because it has one times 72.
Yeah.
So it's 80, 80, 80, 80, 72 here. But they also have a version with 100 on the outside.
Yeah. But they did this to make the skate lower, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with the high-low setup.
Yeah.
If you have a high-low setup, then you know that your frame is really designed to be as low as possible for what it is.
Yeah.
So you can actually filter if you go to frames on our website, thisissol.com, and then one of the filters is high-low.
Yeah.
And then I would most of the time prefer a high-low. It is that I skate Trinity mount.
But it's I think the most simple. I think it has 2 main purposes. These kind of high-low skates. So first of all, they're quite nice for cruising, like we talked about, and then there's the more technical trick side. There's a little bit of a style that revolves around using the bigger front wheel, the back wheel, especially in objects or street skating.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of 2 ways that I look at these kind of high-low frames, as in either they're cruising or you use them creatively in the street spots in that sense. Yeah.
If you compare like a 5x80 frame or like a 3x80 in the middle and 2x100 on the outside, high-low.
Yeah.
If you compare these 2 frames, is one better for cruising?
Compared to the 5x80 compared to high-low.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody who has skated a high-low frame will confirm that it's like skiing, it's like cruising, so it's very nice. So I think it's more comfortable with the larger wheels. So then when I go back, like for instance, I want to go to my little spot, do my session.
Yeah.
That's when I realized like, oh, they're actually really slow. Like when I put them on, like I feel I want to be more quicker. So that's the reason I ride like 76, so that's really small. But it makes it very agile. So when there's a lot big wheels here, I find it difficulty to sort of use them. So it's not really my style, but I guess that's just personal.
Do the bigger wheels have more grip? If you're gonna pivot on the last two wheels, so this is pivoting. Does a bigger wheel have more resistance because it has a bigger surface area? Is that the reason why they feel slow for you?
They're wider, so there's more
length,
yeah. More skate touching when you're twisting. But
yeah,
it's just the length and the bigger wheels that makes it move slower. Yeah.
This does pivot really nice.
Yeah, this is like,
oh my God.
for artistic skating, like really flowing. This is absolutely this one, or the arc frame, the endless arc frame, is also, I think, perfect for that.
Yeah.
I really like the small wheels and really fast skating, but like everything, it's personal. So yeah, there's no one solution, one perfect skate.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a Cinderella story, like we say.
Right. To finish up on the high-low, there's one more. This is the Rockin brand, and they have what I would like to see as a tri-skate with 3 wheels, but there's 2 smaller wheels in the middle. So this is 90, 90, 90.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of 3x90, you get some 80s in the middle. Because then, it's a super smooth.
Yeah.
Because this is UFS, it doesn't have the same problem as this one, because this is 165. So here the smaller wheel only needed to be in the front.
Yeah.
Because the back is lifted. And with UFS, the 2 mounting holes are really close to these 2 wheels.
Yeah.
So that means only these 2 a little bit smaller, so that it doesn't rub on the bolt.
Yeah.
And I just think this frame is genius. There's also, this is called the Mix 5. They also have a Mix 4, and that's 90 in the middle and 100 on the outside, I think. If I say this correct.
There's a lot of combinations.
FR has a lot. So here, this is an FR frame. This is 4x90, but they have a lot of combinations. They even have like 68 in the middle, and then I think 90 on the outside.
Oh, really?
But that's more for slalom.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then every kind of like step you can take bigger, they have. I think the biggest high-low frame, if you look at it like that, is 2x 110 in the middle and 125 on the outside.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But for general skating, for just like all-round skating, I would say for most people, if you get 2x90 in the middle and then 2x 100 on the outside, with a slide rocker for a 165mm boot, that's just an ideal frame.
Yeah, I think that's a really nice. You have the 90s in the middle, giving you the agility, and the 100s on the outside, giving you the comfort.
Yeah.
So definitely. Yeah.
All right, so that's the high-low topic.
Yeah. Hey, and one thing, because we haven't touched about the difference between, should you do buy UFS or 165 or Trinity?
Yeah.
The way I look at it, it's important that you want to be dividing your weight over your complete frame. So I like the UFS because it's a bit more to the back. Because I feel like when they have a raised heel, it's easier to put pressure on your toes, as where I want to divide my weight. So I prefer to be to the back.
Yeah.
So that's why I always say to people, like, go for UFS, because you're more straight and it makes it easier to find the rocker. Because the raised heel makes you put pressure on your toes.
I had the opposite experience, and that just maybe means that I didn't try enough. But with the skate that you have, the Seba CJs, and I also tried the Wizard base skates, I constantly had the feeling that I was falling backwards.
Oh yeah.
And I hated it.
Yeah.
And I was putting in I even tried to put kind of frame raisers.
Yeah.
To put metal plates between the boot and the frame to lift the boot. And I put heel raisers underneath the liner.
Okay.
It's kind of like shock absorbers, but then harder to have more of a forward lean. But
I think if you just wait it out a few sessions, you'll get used to it.
And it also depends on what you're doing, because I'm more commuting on my skates or used to commute.
Yeah.
And you are more like on the spot flatland.
Yeah.
Flow skating.
For me, on the spot, artistic,
Yeah.
UFS, 5-wheel, small.
Yeah.
That's the artistic, and then the one that you named, the 100s, 90, 100s. Well, we'll see when the first one comes out. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, different mounts. So you're a fan of UFS because of the backwards lean.
yeah, I've never tried Trinity, but
Yeah.
that also brings something with it. It has a really nice because it has 2 bolts on the side. It creates a little bit of a different experience. Yeah.
It's for sure really stiff. Even like the cheapest Trinity skate that you can find, the sideways stiffness. I like to do this little test. Grab the skate underneath your elbow here, and then kind of like pull on the frame like this. It always has a super stiff connection because of the bolts on the outside. So that's really nice. And then it has the kind of like the possibility to be really low, but I really don't understand Trinity in. This is one example of a brand that made the frame, well not this frame, but they made the frames, they made the mount, and they make the boots. So they have all the design freedom in the world.
Yeah.
Because normally there's some design constraints, but they really designed it all themselves. And then somehow I am still stuck with this room here. And that's also, there's different sizes and everything.
It's that's a lot of space.
So maybe because of there's different boot sizes, they had to do something like that. But at least Endless made like a Trinity LR frame, which is called Lowrider. So it sits extra low. So that's really nice. But I think Trinity is the best mounting if they did it the right way. But they're still. They have the possibility to make the lowest skate possible on the market, but that they don't.
Yeah.
And they only have it. Maybe I can show you. Here's no room between the boot and the wheel, but with mine there is. So why? There's no other frame from Powerslide at least that makes it lower than I am currently riding. There's one other mount. This is the Echo Skate, and you want to have the bolts on the outside. So that's what Trinity has. It also has the bolt on the outside, because if you have the bolt in the middle, first it's super weak in the lateral force. And second, it sits in the way of the wheels. So here they have kind of like a mount with 4 bolts on the outside, which is the most obvious thing to do. You've never seen it?
How do you call it? What do we call this mount?
I actually don't know how they call the mount. There's no aftermarket frames.
And is the idea behind it that they felt that this was just a much better way of connecting the boot to the frame?
And it's the lowest skate on the market. I think this is one of the best skates in the world right now. It's just that they have a 4x90 frame, luckily, because I asked. So they made this because of me. Somehow, but there's still no 4x100. There's no 5x80. So there's no other brand making frames for it right now.
It's crazy that these come out of the box like this, and like it's ballsy, I think, but then they must have had a good reason for it. So they.
What's the best mount? This is the best mount.
Exactly. That's why they would have done it. Really cool. Really nice skates.
This is a wide fitting boot, and it's also tall, so I have like a skinny low foot. So if I put this on, my foot has too much room. They send me a sample skate to try. I would have loved to love it, but it doesn't work with my foot, which doesn't mean it doesn't work with
what size all foot. What size is this?
I can let you try one if you want. So that's kind of like the ideal mount, how it should be, but unfortunately, we're stuck with 165mm and UFS for now.
But to break it down, for a beginner, well, I see mainstream skaters have more 165. So a lot of the times people come with their, the boots that they already have and want to do Wizard with that. But if you're a beginner, I would say UFS, but it's totally fine to use Trinity or the other one. So it's not like one is better than the other. it's again personal, but yeah, just know that you can really make a mistake by choosing.
Maybe it's good to summarize. I think Trinity is really nice.
It maybe has a fewer options.
Maybe a few,
but
fewer
it's
options.
coming. It's coming more and more and more. So I feel that all the big brands have Trinity frames.
Yeah.
But it was, I think, the least
Yeah.
popular.
Well summarized. And then UFS, great. It's really low to the ground. A lot of the boots are not good enough in the mounting. 165 millimeter mounted boots are often really good if they have a metal plate.
Yeah.
It's a little bit tall from the ground on the front. The frame is raised in the back with metal, so that's nice. You have the stiffness of the frame here. And in aggressive skate, you have like a swampy, soft shock absorber often, which is taking away all your energy. So 165 millimeter mount, a lot of options, a lot of boots that are good. Unfortunately, it's a little bit high from the ground.
Yeah.
So that's the summary for frames, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then let's compare all the brands.
Let's compare all the brands.
What's the best brand?
Yeah. We talked a lot about this and about an evolving market, and it's changing, a lot of new players, and I have a background in marketing and advertising, and normally when a new product arises, what you'll see is new players like there's a energy, a lot of new companies, new brands popping up, a lot of things happening, and at a certain point there's so many that it becomes saturated, and then what we'll see, there's going to be a few brands who have something unique to offer. So I think that's the question: which brands have something unique to offer that the other ones haven't? And I think that's the most important thing right now to look at if you want a frame. To be honest, all of the brands are expanding their portfolio of products. I think Endless is like, I think there's already 6 new frames coming. Like, I think he released 24 frames in like 3 years or something. It's crazy, right?
Yeah. True.
So it's a bit of a jungle out there.
Yeah, I can say as a shop owner, actually I own 3 shops and a web shop. If you look at the sales numbers, Endless is the biggest.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can tell you that. Of course, Wizard is the brand that started it all, but they only have UFS. And just a really blunt question.
Yeah.
Aren't they just heavier? Isn't it better to have them lighter?
Yeah, maybe. Of course, lighter skates, easier to jump. Yeah,
or is the thickness needed for the stiffness?
I kind of like the heaviness of being grounded, but that's again personal.
Yeah.
But I think what is important to realize if you compare Endless and Wizard is really portraying a specific style of skating, and that's where they make the hardware for.
Yeah.
So that hardware is specifically made for the vision that Wizard skating has, and where Endless has like a lot of different frames for a lot of different disciplines. So picking, choosing for Wizard skating means like choosing also for kind of like a style, like a movement, like there's more to it than just the frame.
Yeah.
And I think that's of course very important, and Wizard skating has been an inspiration to a lot of the people that just started.
Yeah.
But more and more brands are coming in. What do you think? Because I remember you asked me, you were new. I was one of the first people to skate Flow Wizard, and you were also like, there's so many new brands coming, what to do. What's your advice for beginners if a beginner walks in here?
It doesn't really matter that much.
No.
Just pick the frame configuration that you want, and then whatever frame has that.
But it must have changed a lot, like in the last 2-3 years. The hardware that you have here is like significantly changed.
I think if I would like to see brands compete on what frame would be like the final choice of a consumer, I would like them to compete in the amount that they can let the customer fall in love with the brand. And I hope that it's going to come in that direction, and that's where I see the added value of the Wizard frames, because they are really putting a branding out there, and that is what makes those frames
Yeah,
worth it.
definitely. Yeah,
And I
yeah.
hope that the other brands are going to do that as well more and more. Compete on the level of style.
Yeah, contributing something to the culture or
Yes.
innovating in a way that's very important. So yeah, I think all the brands need to thinking about like what is it that makes their frames unique.
Yeah.
But it's evolving really quickly. I'm very curious to see where it's heading in the coming years. But yeah, we're gonna see some changes. Yeah.
And then your question on like what should you sell kind of like to a beginner?
Yeah,
it's kind of the same question as like
summarizes,
if you sell clothing and a naked person walks in, what do you sell to them? Like anything.
Yeah.
All right, just
Yeah,
get that man some clothes.
That's true. Yeah.
But of course, when we're gonna shop clothing, we want to look good in it.
Yeah.
So and I think that's.
Yeah,
that should be the focus.
it's also brings a bit of like style. It has to look cool, you know.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's style skating is very visual, so it's made to perform, to show. So yeah, I guess that comes with the style, the image. Yeah.
So that's kind of like the Wizard brand, Endless brand. It's known to make a lot of products. We have the Yo-Yo brand. It's quite new. They have a quite cool repertoire of UFS and 165mm mount.
Yeah.
They have their own wheels, of course, and I like the finish a little bit. What I appreciate about the Yo-Yo brand is that they have really distinct marketing in the frame. So
yeah,
it's really clear that this is a Yo-Yo frame. Well, while I have showed my frame here, and you probably couldn't see that this is an NN frame.
Yeah,
it has like it has actually NN.
From a distance,
you can.
It would look like a Wizard frame or Wizard skating. Yeah.
So and these brands, they kind of like have a problem in that way because they all decided to go with the silver finish. And it's really non-distinct.
Well, I think rocking is like a lot of colors. Like I think from the start was already putting a lot of colors out there. I think that's what you see in people making their own setups, combining stuff. You know, this is very recognizable. It looks really good. And now we have Wizard, Endless, Yo-Yo, and then Rocking, Icon, the Rollerblade Flow, any of our. So there's a lot of choice. Like if somebody comes in here, there's a lot of choice for them to pick their preferred Flow Wizard setup.
Do any of these brands differentiate themselves in a technical aspect?
I think Endless has high performance engineering.
And where do you see that in?
The finishes. So it's I think it's also the design of the frames and the structure. There's a lot of stress on certain points. So designing the frames around these stress points, I think that's the hard part to it. Mm-hmm. But if you look at it, they all look the same. Like there's not like a big difference. There's a little bit of a difference in how the axle bolts work.
Okay.
Some have like specific. I think Yo-Yo has specific spacers, right? Or
this is a Yo-Yo frame here, and they have spacers, and they come in different diameters as well.
Yeah.
Yo-Yo also has a spacer meter tool, spacer meter. So you put this on a frame, and then you can measure what type of spacer is needed for. So you never have the clicky clacky.
Yeah, that's one. I think one of my most annoying things. The clicky clackety sound.
Is there anything that sets these brands apart in the matter of rockering? Like Icon has like frames, like axles that can be put up and down. Like the Rollerblade flow frame is maybe known that it has like a more of a rocker. Like, are there differences?
Yeah, there are definitely some differences, and they're very nuanced. Yeah. So you have to be very good to feel the difference. But if you compare a Rollerblade flow frame, I've tried it, I've tested it, and it felt like a perfect frame for beginners because the rocker was a bit bigger than on what I was riding, a PR80. So I kind of feel my idea behind it is, I think Wizard also really likes to be a bit more stable because they're using maybe some objects. So maybe that's why they want to have a less obvious rocker. And if you are doing a flow frame for just flat, then having a large rocker makes it in the beginning a bit easier to sort of discover the movement. So I thought it was kind of like a beginner frame. Low entry price.
And why is that bad for advanced skaters then?
it's a bit too wobbly sometimes. So I kind of like the friction sometimes. So I felt it was a how do you say, like a loose, like if you
like a loose cannon.
yeah, like if you just spin at one point, you can just like go like that. So, but I think it's a very good frame to start on because it has a very good price. It can 165, and has very good rocker. Makes it just easy to try everything and get a bit of a basis with techniques. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I like it. I like it. Yeah.
And are there any other frames that have like differences in rocker, like does Rockin or Icon or?
Yeah, I remember that when I was I switched one time from 100 rocking to 100 wizard skating.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a difference. Like it's so nuanced. It's so.
What
I wonder if you do a test and you give me you blindfold me and I have like 5 skates and you put different.
Yeah.
If I can feel it, I would actually think that's a really interesting test to do. But
What
I
frame
don't.
is this?
I don't think it's possible to. It's also just the image that you have of the frame that you put it on.
So it's not something that people should pick the frame for per se, maybe.
No, there's no way of saying like this frame has a specific rocker, pick that one. No.
So then I think it's more of what the brands do outside of those frames.
Yeah, also.
And where you see like Yo-Yo makes a lot of these like cool tools surrounding the frames. They have all sorts of that. They have like some clothing.
Yeah.
The Wizard brand, of course, makes cool videos.
Yeah, innovating and forming a category.
Yeah.
And then you have Endless, which has just a lot of different like technical. So yeah, those are already brands that are kind of like placing themselves in a
And
specific
then
corner.
Rockin and then they don't do that much around frames. They don't have. Well, the Rockin has the pants.
Yeah.
But that's just that.
Yeah.
And then doesn't have any products. They have a team, and then as a fun team in Barcelona.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there's a lot of NN riders in Barcelona. I think there's a big NN skates community there. It is important because the community is forming and there's a lot of things happening. So I think it's very important for brands to start listening to what skaters want and what they're looking for. Because at a certain point, there's going to be so many brands. Like there cannot be so many brands. Like there has to be. So at a certain point, some will fall off or
probably.
Off. Yeah.
What I think is interesting is the coloring of these frames. So that's the next topic. It's maybe the future. You're touching on that. Probably some of the brands were falling off in the future. They're playing a little bit with the finish, like Yo-Yo. And I really like the Endless Mercury frames, which have like a mirroring effect.
Yeah. And now you also have the Rocking Versa frame, which also looks like spectacular.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff out there.
But Rocking is one of the only frame brands that is really playing into like color technology.
Yeah.
So they have a black version of every frame and one colored version, like a yellow one but I don't really, like the colors are like yellow or red or like blue or green. Those colors are way too like hard for. I'm wearing a bright green shirt right now, but still.
I've never seen you in. No, but it's the same. I don't want to be. I don't want to have bright colors. I want to like blend in. Yeah. So just dark.
The Endless colors, they're doing the color technology a little bit more subtle. So they have like bronze. Or like
the pink is very like thin. The blue is also very kind of metallic finish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're more subtle colors, and I don't think it. If you ask me, I don't really want it to go in that direction, like because there's already so many choices, but at least they're all gray or something, you know.
Yeah.
If all these brands will make like of all the frames that they have, 10 more versions in like all the 10 colors. I don't think that per se is the direction that these brands or the consumers should go. I would rather see them make cool content. And videos.
I asked the people like, hey, if you want to buy a specific frame and it isn't in your color, would you still buy it but in a different color, or would you wait?
Yeah.
And most people will wait for the specific color because they don't want to ride it in a color that they don't like. So,
but it doesn't mean they want the color. This means like. They want to have the gray frame, probably,
Yeah.
And if the gray frame is not there and it only has red, they wouldn't buy the red one.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
That's more what they mean probably than that.
Or they will buy a gray one from a different brand, which is
Yeah,
also
exactly.
an option. So
it doesn't per se mean that they like color. It means that they just like
Yeah.
the color which they like, and that's green.
Yeah.
Probably. Like the frames that we sell, they're gray.
sometimes when I skate through the streets with a wizard frame, I feel like a lot of people are like kind of like glance at it. Like, I haven't seen that before. It's kind of, it new. It attracts attention, which I think is really good because they see that there is a new style.
Yeah,
frame.
we had that with the 3-wheel frames as well, but it was the wrong type of new.
Yeah.
Next topic. To be short, I would say undercover team wheels or rollerblade hydrogen wheels, and everything else that we're gonna say after that is not interesting.
I'm a big ambassador of hard wheels, so
Mhm.
that's what I like. I think they complement my style. So I would pick like something like a mushroom blading wheel.
Mushroom blading wheels are good.
Yeah, I really like. That's what I like. So that's my personal.
Yeah. Wizard brand wheels are good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
If you only focus on hardness, if that's your only lens, then you're gonna make some mistakes. So there's a nuance to what you're saying in that. You can never find a specific metric. Like let's say you decided that you think that harder wheels are faster, which is probably not necessarily so, but you think it's logical to think so. So you're gonna just pick the hardest wheel you can find on thisisall.com. And then it's gonna be maybe a really bad wheel where the compound is just not as good.
Yeah.
So first you need to get a good compound, and then you can choose the hardness. I like to make this analogy.
Yeah.
We are in the west of Amsterdam right now, and I would definitely say the west is the best part of Amsterdam. Okay. If you go to Barcelona and your only way of thinking is like, I like west of Amsterdam, so I want to be in west of Barcelona. Then you're gonna be in the wrong side of Barcelona, because the best side of Barcelona is actually the east.
Yeah.
So this is if you're only looking at wind direction, choosing a city will not be a good
I understand.
good exercise.
Yeah.
And if you only look at hardness, you're also gonna make just the wrong choices in buying wheels.
Yeah, and I think you were the one that taught me that take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
It's just try them, experiment with them, find your wheels, but don't rely on the numbers
Exactly.
too much. Yeah.
Don't think about this hardness. First you pick the city where you want to go. Like in a couple of weeks, I'm gonna go to Rome. I don't know if I'm gonna go to the north, east, center, west, but we'll decide when we get there. So that's how you should look at it. Like first you pick the brand, and then if that brand has any differentiation with the hardness, then you can choose. This brand also has a hardware. Let's try that one.
Yeah, and I think there's also a bit of like the material and the core, and that's kind of creates the whole feeling of a wheel. Like a lot of the frame brands are also selling wheels, so making wheels, so Endless and NN, Yo-Yo, they're all making their own wheels.
Yeah.
Just try them and pick the one you like the most.
Yeah. Again, rollerblade, hydrogen, or undercover team wheels.
Yeah,
Mushroom blading good.
I think I wrote the most undercover.
Then there's dual density wheels. I don't think this is not for this style of skating, but in general, the more expensive a wheel, the better it is. Period.
Yeah.
Unless you go to a dual density wheel, but then because dual density it has actually more grip, and that's not what you want for this. Like you said, you want it to pivot more easily, and you want to be able to do this on the spot kind of.
Yeah.
And the dual density, there's kind of like sticky, so that if you make a push, then at the last moment of your push, you still have grip, so you can still put some energy in that.
Yeah.
And the dual density wheels can be up to like €20 a wheel, which is great for commuting, but not so great for sliding and pivoting and flowing. So get the most expensive wheel, which is not dual density, and then you'll probably have one of the best wheels. That's kind of like or just get the rollerblade hydrogen undercover team. The complete skates that are on the market.
So the complete wizard setups. Well, we have the ACT now.
It's only 5-wheel.
And we have the of course the wizard boots and frame.
Yeah.
But that's only 2 dedicated skates, right?
Yeah. both of course available on thisisall.com.
Yeah.
And then the only other options are like 4x90 millimeter frame with a classic 165 millimeter mounted boot option. And there's a few like this UFR 90. That's like a small rocker.
Yeah.
And in this category, there's actually a bunch right now. So there's the.
It's and I'm also hoping that the people that buy them understand that there's a rocker, that there's something you can do with that, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
So I think as like an all-round beginning flow skating setup, something like this would be great.
Yeah.
UFR 90 small rocker.
I agree. Yeah.
Then Flying Eagle has something like this. Icon Trinity. There's like one Icon Trinity right now that's new. There's one Icon ACT Classic Team, which is out right now. There's the Icon CL15, which is out right now. In black, in blue, and in pink. The UFR 90 Intuition, basically this version, but then with an Intuition in it. That's everything that's on the market now. We have a category on thisisall.com. It says wizard style skating with kind of like flowing or freestyle flowing flatland and stability behind it. If you click on that category, you'll see all the frames in this category, of course, and then the complete skates that come 4x90 as well. Sadly, there's no 4x100, and there's only one 5x80 on the market. But I think, like in 2 years, there's going to be more.
Yeah, definitely. And if you want answers, don't forget to pre-order my book.
Yeah.
Because there's also a lot of things for beginners, just what to pick, all kinds of the questions that we're talking about, also in there. And that's, I think, also kind of the fun thing about when you're starting out, like getting into all these little, technical things and understanding what it is and maintaining it. So that's kind of also the nerd part of skating that I think everybody likes also a bit.
And if you want to nerd out more with us, next week we're going to make a video about the techniques, also coming part from the book. Of course, there's more in the book.
Yeah.
And Bas is doing classes as well.
Yeah. I'm really trying to show that it's more than just doing tricks.
Yeah.
There's a lot behind it.
Yeah.
And if you take some time to dive into it, it's an amazing thing to practice. So I have a very positive look for the future for this style of skating.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we talked about it last time also. It's a good thing for skating, this change.
Yeah, it's all positive. If you're in Berlin, reach out to Berlinliner. Our friend Jonathan is teaching there. He's a really good instructor. So if you want to get some lessons at Tempelhofer, and of course we have our Berlin store if you want to get some gear there.
Yeah.
That wraps it about up. Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks.
See you next week in a new video.
Bye.